state witness in the trial of Vusimuzi Cat Matlala and 4 others, has told the High Court in Johannesburg that he could not apply for a search warrant on the day accused number 1, Musa Kekana, was arrested because he did not have enough information. Police officer Captain Phimi Sekgobela is being cross-examined in a trial within a trial in which alleged hitman Musa Kekana is challenging the admissibility of evidence obtained during his 2024 arrest. Kekana claims that his arrest and the search and seizure of items on the day were unlawful because there were no arrests or search warrants. Kekana is on trial alongside Matlala, Matlala, and Nzama for the attempted murders of businessman Joe Sibanyoni, music producer Sienki Mokubung, and Matlala's former partner Tebo Khotobejane. Sekgobela says the search was urgent to ensure the suspects did not move or destroy evidence. All right, let's stay with this particular story and speak to our reporter Neria Tlakotsa, who's been tracking this particular story. Neria, good evening to you. And quite another eventful day in court. And this time, yes, we're still there trying to figure out, whether the admissibility and all of those concerns around some of the evidence is concerned. But perhaps we speak about what Sekgobela has had to say about the arrest warrants and the arrest in question.
Indeed, Bongiwe, it's been a very hectic time and a very crucial time also for the defense right now because they are cross-examining Captain Phimi Sekgobela. You must remember he's the one that arrested accused number 1 in 2024. So now they are poking holes because they want this evidence not to be admissible in court. They're trying to see whether the arrest itself was lawful, and they're trying to prove to the court that this arrest was not lawful. Yesterday already, Advocate Rian Geseng touched on the issue that when accused number 1 was arrested, Phimi Sekgobela didn't read his rights. This is the accusation that he's bringing. But Sekgobela is firm on his word that I did read him his rights. In fact, I read them even in SABC. And when the accused said he doesn't understand some of the questions, I had to translate for him in English. But now, Sekgobela was also caught yesterday, Bonyiwe, because then there is that SABC 14A document. This is a document that has rights of all the suspects that are arrested, and then the suspect has to sign it at the bottom, obviously when police have already read the rights to him. This document then, when it was put to Phimi Sekgobela that when did the accused sign it, he couldn't remember when the accused signed it. And it's important because he said during his evidence in chief that the last time he saw the accused number 1 that is, was when he was being taken to hospital by an ambulance. And maybe let me track back so that you understand why he was taken to hospital. So during the arrest of accused number 1, we found out that he had cough. A bad cough that then he was coughing up blood as a result. And then they had to call the ambulance to come just check him out and make sure that he's okay. And then ultimately then he was rushed to hospital. And Phimi Sekgobela insists that that was the last time he ever saw the accused. But then here's this form, this SABC 14A document that was signed at 8 p.m. at night. And he's being asked, when did he sign it? Did you make him sign it when he was in hospital or at the police station? And Sekgobela simply doesn't remember that part. Even also saying maybe it was one of our members who did it because we work as a team. So the defense is really right now poking holes in things like that because it has to make sure that that evidence is not admissible in court.
Wait, so if he doesn't know and he says that it could be one of those, one of his team members, that is crucial detail because it means then that how many hands were involved in this matter?
Yeah, look, a lot of hands were involved in this matter. Definitely there was a lot of police even during that arrest. But now the defense in this case is saying this document is then fraudulent because we don't understand when it was signed, how it was signed. But the interesting part in all of this, Bunyo, is that the defense is not questioning the signature. So the signature is there of the accused. So really, it's just them trying trying to poke holes, because if they were then questioning the signature, it would be another different story. But you can see now that they are rigorous. They are fighting really hard to make sure that they prove that Phimi Sekgobela arrested their client unlawfully. Today, they even now touched on the issue of the search warrants. Remember, when there's a search and seizure operation, police need to have a search warrant. And we know now the police have accepted they never had a warrant. But now they have to prove that there was agreement, however, between the suspect and the police that the search can happen. But now the first accused has stepped back to say, I never agreed with police for this warrant to happen. In fact, when we got to my house, I told them I don't have the keys to the gate, so I couldn't have agreed simply. And instead, the police decided to open the gate manually, and it's a remote gate. So it really cannot be that I gave them the permission. But Phimi has come back to say, no, he's lying. He opened that gate. He used that remote. So we're having differing views of what happened on the day, because Sekgobela is firm to say he opened the gate. But now the defense has showed us a picture today in court, just before they adjourned, of a car. So accused number one, when he was arrested, Bongiwe, he was in a Viano. This is a V-class. And then while he was there, that's when the police took him then to his home with the police car. Now the defense have shown us a key or a remote, for that matter, that is inside the Viano. And now they are saying to Phimi, Captain Sekgobela, how is it possible that this remote is in this Viano while you are at the accused's home? So you can see there's differing views right now. I don't know how the state is going to come back from this, Bongiwe, and how they will tighten their evidence, because the defense is really fighting hard, and it's looking at the little things, the intricacy part of it, because accused number one is adamant that he never agreed with police that you can search or you can even arrest me.
And so I suppose then it makes tomorrow interesting once again, because procedurally, what happens now? Did the police get it wrong, or do we then see, the state digging in their heels to say that they're still quite confident in their version, regardless of what the defense is currently doing to try and poke holes there? So what can we expect tomorrow, and who else have possibly, been told that could also be coming here?
Yeah, for the trial within a trial itself, we're still expecting Sekgobela to be on the stand tomorrow, because now the defense has asked for his diary of that day. They want to see the entry of the diary, what he wrote on the day, and whether that diary had the rights that he said he read to the accused. So it seems like he's going to be on the stand for a long time, because the state will need to repair this damage that the defense has caused so far in poking these holes. And we'll see after that whether the state itself will bring more people to make sure that they at least get that ruling where this evidence is permissible in court, because it's important, Bongiwe. Remember, it's that search and seizure that found those guns that are linked to the shootings that bring us to this court. So the state really needs that evidence, and the defense on the other side needs that evidence not to be in court, because then it can incriminate their client, and they would have to fight very, very hard for them to get out of this one.
It sounds like quite the contention. Eh? Let's see then what happens tomorrow. Nere, appreciate your time as always, and looking forward then to see what comes out in court from these proceedings tomorrow. That is Nere Tlakutsa, they're live for us in studio, and looking at that, that case that involves Vusimuzi Cat Matlala and others.